Oh, we actually talked about, railway workers declaring strike over 7 months on paid salaries. Yeah. So let's get straight into that. And we'll be talking to our reporter who's on the ground. Let's know what the situation is like before we get into the rest of the show. So let's speak to Fred Duho. Hello, Fred.
Hello, Chris Carter. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm great. Yourself?
I'm fine, thank you. So, Fred, where are you, and can you share what the situation is now?
As for Philip, I can imagine he's doing great. So, Philip, I trust you good.
I'm doing good. So, we're asking, where are you now, and what can you say about the action taken by the railway workers?
Well, good morning to our cherished viewers. We moved from the Spintex stretch where the railway workers actually stopped working. It was expected that a number of passengers would be waiting to board the train to Accra Central. So we are currently in Accra Central, and unfortunately, the train did not move. The train is still in Tema, and so this particular place is literally empty. And by empty, I mean the fact that the train coaches are not present at this particular place. Ordinarily, if you had come here and it is a working day for them, you would see the locomotives on the rail tracks. But we've been there, we've seen that they are not working. But even before we get to the concerns of the workers and to understand what their grievances are, we can start from what they termed a train station. And right behind me, Philip and Carter, I don't know if this looks like a train station for you. This is where a number of people or passengers are expected to come in and board the train to their various destinations. But we speak currently from a train station that has been taken over or totally encroached by people who are literally here to cut goods, people we know in our local parlance as kayayes. And these are people who are here cutting goods on their headquarters, basically here to pick market items to the central business district for sale. And you see a number of trucks that are also parked within the yard, what is meant to be known as the train station. And this train station has been built for decades ago. I dare say that the place needs a whole lot of attention. We see that this is supposed to be the ticketing area where you come and passengers are only allowed to get their tickets from this place. So passengers only. This way, all tickets to be shown at barrier. So you come here and get your ticket, but the entire place has been encroached. Yeah. Market women have turned into a market space. The workers have no other place than the various offices left for them to occupy. And then we see where you can also get your first class, second class tickets. So this is first, second, and third classes of tickets if you need those tickets to get to your location. This building is a colonial building that has been commissioned some decades ago, like I mentioned. And so we have a plaque here that is boldly written on it. I want to read this to our viewers. 120 years of railways. So you can imagine this is over a century. This building has been here for over a century. In 1898, construction of the railway commenced in Sekondi on the 120th anniversary of the introduction of the railway. This plaque was unveiled with a solemn pledge to build a modern railway network by His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, President of the Republic of Ghana. And this was done on Wednesday, 5th of December 2018. And if you see the makeup of this building or this structure we talk about here, it is obvious that this is a facility that was built centuries ago, decades. This is 120-year-old structure. And when you come to the main platform, the platform literally shares boundary with the Kantamanto market that got burnt on January 2nd. So this is the Kantamanto market right there with this wall fence there. And then you have the railway lines, and where we stand currently is the platform. Now, we see a number of workers who are here agitating. We want to understand them and speak to them on what the issue is.
Kuku rice putum sansayo, Baba you go pay. Kuku rice putum sansayo, Baba you go pay. Baba you go pay, oh, Baba you go pay. Baba you go pay, oh, Baba you go pay. Kuku rice putum pay. Kuku rice putum sansayo, Baba you go pay. Kuku rice putum sansayo, Baba you go pay. Oh boy, yeah. Otabanako. Yagaran will pay me that Pomusunda. Abo Chibi no di Samaraye. Abo Chibi no di Samar. Omanakwe, Musego Wano. Choboy.
This is some typical Western songs being sung by railway workers, and they are aggrieved literally because for almost 8 months they've not earned their salaries. They've not been paid. They've worked for it, but the government is dragging its feet. They work for the Railway Company Limited, and generally these energetic men you see here are quite concerned. They say they can't feed their families. Paying school fees have become a problem, and a whole lot of personal issues. They feel they want to register their displeasure for the government to turn attention to their concerns. Let's speak to the secretary for the Accra branch of the Ghana Railway Company Limited, and he has some men right behind him to give us some details as to why they've decided to wear red armband and also tie a bit of red cloth around them to register their concerns. Welcome to Channel One News. This is Breakfast Daily. Your full name and your position.
Yeah, thank you. I'm Franklin Kobna, the branch secretary, Railway Workers Union, Accra.
We do not see the trains on the lines. What's happening? Didn't you work today?
Yeah, yesterday we talked about our salary, and then we gave the management the close of the day. If nothing is being heard from them, we are not going to move the train from Tema to this place. So that is why you are not seeing any train here.
So the trains are currently in Tema. That is my understanding.
Yes, it's now stable in Tema.
Now, why give someone a short notice? Yesterday, you just made a press announcement that by the close of day, if nothing is heard, you're going to proceed on industrial action. One would say that is quite a short notice. Why that?
Yeah, for the management, it's not short. And for us, it's not short. Because we have waited for quite long, 7 months. So when again should we tell them to bring us our salary? The time is now. That is why we gave them by the close of yesterday.
Can you walk us through the processes you've or the engagements you've had all over this period, and what led you to this point? What were some of the level of engagement, whether the minister, managerial level, what has been the level of engagement through to this point?
Yeah, the only thing we can say is we started demanding this salary somewhere last year. We were told we should wait because the previous government is no more there. So we have to wait till we get a sector minister, so we continue from there. We have waited. They told us there's no minister for him to talk about railway issue. So we were able to wait, patiently wait. The minister was appointed. He went through vetting. He has been cleared by Parliament as the sector minister. We learned our management, together with the union, have been there on several occasions. But what comes out at the meeting, we are not hearing anything. We were here when we were told that the minister want to conduct an head count. We all agreed. They came, took every particulars of us, and we were told just after May Day we will receive the salary. And today is 13th. Nothing is being heard. Nobody is telling us what is going on. So the only decision we, the workers, can do is to sit down, wait for the management to come and tell us why we haven't been paid as at now.
What was the agreement with the previous managers or government, for that matter? Because if you talk about 8 months of salaries not paid, it obviously means that the arrears started from last year. Why did they leave that? They left government without paying you from October, November, and December before bringing your issues forth to the current administration?
Such questions should be answered by the management, because I don't think, being the managers of the company, you can stay aside, waited for 3 months of the previous government for them to go out with our 3 months. So the current government came, and he also wanted to see why we haven't been paid. I think that is why we are here now.
Railway Company Limited, obviously owned by the state or the government, but this is a company that is managed so it can generate profit, and out of that profit you may all share the benefits. Can you say confidently that at this moment the Railway Company Limited is making profits for which workers should be paid?
For now, if I can tell you, we are not making anything that brings money to the company. Formerly, we were running bauxite from Awaso to port, then from Insuta, that's manganese, and all have stopped because of the lines and this galamsey issue. So that has disturbed the company for quite so long. Formerly, Railway can even paid himself. Then at the end of the even year, we were giving bonuses added to our salary. But because of this Awaso line being closed, manganese not working, that has even affected us up to now.
What can we do to revive the railway sector? Yes, your concerns are genuine. We will talk about it or delve into it more effectively. But what can we do to bring the railway sector back to its feet?
For now, unless we had investors to take up this company. If not, almost every day, railway sinks.
We are talking about privatization?
Yeah. I'm telling you, if not,
It's the best though.
because this train can't even pay 7 workers. The train that we are working. Even fuel issue, we had problem with the fuel issue. So this company, if investors, we won't had an investors to come on board, I don't think railway will rise up again.
You are not the accountant. I want to ask some technical questions, but just give me your general view or knowledge about these questions. Now, moving from Tema to Accra every day and back, in your estimation, how many passengers do come in, and multiplying that by the amount you charge, how much do you really make in a day? Then we can multiply that for the month.
For that one, it will come through from the account section. They will know the number of persons which almost every day joins the train. Then you do the calculations from there.
But as it stands now, how much do you charge a passenger from Tema to this place?
Yeah, we have the first class, which is 10 cedis. And then the second class is 8 cedis.
And then the third class?
No, we have second and only first.
Oh, okay.
And the coaches the coaches is too small. About 4 coaches, 1 first class and 3 second class. That's the only train that we have here.
To what extent do you intend to push your agenda or probably your grievances to get some result?
Yeah, as we are here this morning, I think there's a debate going on in Takoradi. So the outcome will also ginger us either coming or still waiting for our salary. This is the only thing I can say.
What form of debate is happening there?
Yeah, the management and our national union They are meeting the workers over there concerning this same issue. And then waiting, we are still waiting for them. I think it has just started. So the outcome will also be delivered to our people. So we see the way forward, either coming or still waiting for our salary.
Now, I see a lot of encroachments all around the train station. What is happening? Who is in charge? Why are you not really protecting what you have and making it look like a real station? This cannot really, this obviously can be compared to the Agbublushi Market, Kantamanto, and it doesn't look like a real station. Management-wise, what is happening?
You see, it's very difficult controlling these people because if you see, our station is very closer to Kantamanto. And then almost we have a lot of gates coming in. So the refuse will be coming, and these guys, the junkies, will also be coming in. But since the train is not working, that's why you are seeing them here like that. If the train is working, you won't see them here.
What can we do generally to revive the train sector? This thing was built 120 years ago. If decades ago our forefathers could think of something like this, that we need a train station and build something beautifully like this, for we with the technology and everything, we come and we destroy it. Look at the ceiling, look at the entire facility, so deteriorating. What is going on? When you wake up and you come here every morning to work and you work under these conditions, how do you feel?
Very bad. Very, very bad. I wish it rains today for you to see what here will be. It will be flooded. And then we are here to work. We, the workers, are here to work. But for this building to be modernized, I think it should come from the management and not we, the workers.
Lastly, before we allow you to go, how have you been catering for your family? Because obviously, if you've not been paid for almost 8 months, that means that you have some magic you are doing at home together with your wife and kids to survive till this day. How are you surviving?
Firstly, we thank the Creator for how far He has brought us. Some of us rely on our wives, and the others I don't know. Because for me, I have 3 kids, and then looking at the financial issue right now, it's only my wife who controls the house.
We have to congratulate your wife. You look so fresh. You don't look like someone who has not been paid for 8 months. Let's speak to a number of people again. Your full name and what really is your concern back home. We've gotten the general overview, but personally, how is that affecting you, the non-payment?
It's very, very, very bad. Very bad. And we can't control it at home. Sometimes I used to be like a boy in the house. My wife will control me because of the financial issue.
If you have a message for the sector minister or the president, what would that be?
Yeah, I will appeal to the president and the sector minister. They have to try as much as possible to privatize the work. If not, we are going to die. Some of us are dying. They died, and we are still dying. So we beg him, we are appealing to him, the president and the sector minister, to privatize our work.
If you are dead, I don't want to believe I'm talking to a ghost.
Fred,
but they have
Fred,
some placards
before
here.
you
Railway
go
sector
on.
need investment now. No salary. Yeah, Philip, I can hear you.
Yeah, before you go on, I want to find out from you. Ask them how many workers are affected by this non-payment of their salary for 7 months.
Well, per my earlier encounter with them, they say there are about 960 workers who are generally affected by this. And for the past almost 8 months, they've not been paid.
So all
And this is
960
really taking a
aren't
toll on
working?
them back home, they're like, all 960 are not working. That is across the country, because some currently, we understand, are in Takrady, in Edeba, where they believe that from some resolution that would come out of that Deba, that would inform their next line of action. Don't forget, the railway sector was generally established from Takrady because they want to cut these sort of natural resources to the ports directly in Tema. And that formed the basis for which you would always talk about the railway sector and not forgetting to mention Takoradi in the Western region, because that plays a significant part in the whole conversation. So even when you want to speak to their national leadership, you would have to call them in Takoradi, and most of them are based in Takoradi. Accra hitherto has become more like a branch to the Takoradi office, which is the national office. Philip.
Rightly so. So share with us the inscriptions on the placards.
Yes, so on the placards we see no salary for the past 7 months, and that is one of their major concerns, or the reason why they are all clad in red. Railway sector needs investment. This one I would also personally share in, because what I've seen all the way from Tema to this point in Sawam on my last report filed on this subject, the railway sector really needs some level of investment. No salary for the past 7 months is the same communication. And okay, so they have two major concerns: the salary, the welfare of workers, and the investment they are calling for, because they want to work at a place where it is flourishing. One can describe as a railway sector that is functioning. I want to now show you what the roofing shades looks like, a number of things in terms of infrastructure looks like, and this is it. Look at the ceiling right there, and this is the condition under which some of the infrastructure they work in looks like. And when the camera technician pans to the right, you would obviously see a number of people have taken over and they've encroached. They are relaxing. They are going about their businesses, because the train station is situated right on the borderline of the Kantamanto market. And so a number of people do come in without necessarily having any business to do here. Some even come to take a nap or sleep the whole day at this particular place. And now let's take a look at the tracks or the railway lines and how it looks like. When I was in the UK and in Israel quite recently, Philip, this is nothing compared to a railway sector. If you see what we have here in Ghana, I do not know how it looked like some 120 years ago, but certainly what we see currently of a railway sector, this does not really depict one that any Ghanaian should be proud of. The entire place looks so deserted. The encroachment factor is another concern for the people, and we are told again that anytime it rains heavily, the entire place gets flooded. And so it needs a whole lot of investment, proper re-engineering of the railway sector to ensure that some of these bottlenecks are totally catered for, and the situation where people genuinely want to take interest in boarding trains to cut down on traffic, to avoid the potholes on our roads, and only for the railway sector to also be facing these challenges. I mean, it begs a lot of answers than questions. And so, Philip, the situation is quite a sad one. People have taken over the entire railway here in the heart of Accra, which is the Accra Central. For people who do not know where the railway place is in Accra, it is right behind the NIB Bank or the Cocoa Board. When you come to the CBD, the Central Business District, it is so obvious that the population within the CBD paints a picture where you do not even want to assume for a second that there is a railway station within the heart of Accra. And the workers here say they've not been paid for almost 8 months. And asked whether this May ending, they would smile at getting all their arrears, or even that this month alone is another thing they are wondering. They are hoping that some solution will come for them quickly. So the workers are still there. They are chanting songs of patriotism, and they are calling on the government, those who matters, to ensure that they generally come and support them or intervene in their situation. Philip, this is the situation. Now, I don't know if you want to leave me, but I've seen one colonial infrastructure that I want to show you. When you go to major cities around the world, there are signs of clocks you see erected in the middle of the town or at the train station. And here, this is a clock that tells the dire story of the train sector in Ghana.
Well,
If what you see there in your shot is, I mean, Philip, this is the total depiction of what the railway sector looks like in Accra or in Ghana at large.
Fred, keep monitoring events for us there, and if possible, you can also engage.
Philip, I can barely hear you.
Yes, what I'm saying that keep
Philip,
monitoring.
can you hear me?
I can hear Fred. I'm sure he can't
Hello,
hear me.
Philip.
He can't hear me. Thank you so much, Fred. Fred Doho is a man on the grounds monitoring the strike, backed on by railway workers who say that they've not been paid for 7 months and they cannot bear the hardship that comes with. So they would have to lay down their tools and compel the government to do the needful. Chris, when I see this, I become sad. Reason is the railway sector is a very lucrative sector, if I'll put it that way. 2, it's going to help our transport system in this country. We are not supposed to rely solely on road. Ideally, people are supposed to move from Amasaman straight to the Central Business District, from Tema straight to the Central Business District, and it's going to reduce travel time on the road.
Travel time and traffic.
Exactly. Just recently, we've seen reports that the tracks or the railway lines around Amasaman, they've been stolen by people we do not know. And also, we saw that in the previous administration, we had a ministry, that is Ministry of Railway Development. We had Honorable Jogate leading that charge, after which Peter Amehu took up that particular ministry to develop the railway sector. But as we speak now, we've not seen anything. Sometimes I wouldn't really fault the government a lot. I would also fault us, the citizens, because not long ago, the former president, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, in November 23, 2024, last year, commissioned or inaugurated the Tema Impakadan railway line and also the multi-unit train at Tema. As we speak now, individuals are stealing components of this railway line.
Things,
So what do you expect of the government now, or what do you expect that the railway sector will thrive? It will not.
Because I'm also thinking, since they want privatization, even if a company or group of companies come to, take over the whole thing, what's going to say you guys will stop stealing or people will stop stealing?
So I think the conversation around the railway sector should just be a bigger one. We shouldn't just leave it at that, because if we have to extend or expand this conversation, it goes a long way for us to see how best we can use the railway sector to augment what we are having on the road. Because see, we cannot take it away. We have systems or means of transport. We have by via road, we have by sea, and by air. So if we are trying to, and funny how the by road is the cheapest, and we understand that for the market women or the people who go to the Central Business District to ply their trade, going by road or going by train is easier. So why wouldn't you revive the sector and get the workers paid, and we can get the best we want from this particular sector?
Well, because honestly, and it's not just about, the workers being paid. Before the workers can actually be even paid right or be paid, I think there needs to be some sort of structure. Everything needs to start all over again, like you said. Like the whole thing needs a whole reshuffle, even management. Because if you listen to what one of the people said, he said one train cannot even pay about, 9 of them. So it's a problem.
Well,
So there needs to be structure.
If the service is done well, because I've seen the multiple unit train, and my dear, should you be in it, you wouldn't even feel like you are on a rail line. It's beautiful. And traveling from Tema to Impakadan, and if same can be done for other places, the sector can be revived I'm not sure that we'll be here. I'm not sure that we'll be having
Well,
issues with how best these workers should be paid for 7 months. And mind you, if these workers do not go back to do what they are supposed to do, it tells you that the market to man or that ordinary trader that relies solely on the train cannot go to work.
true.